folks, we were right. We were actually right at the end of the day. When we talked about how weird it was seeing Slot sitting in the players' dugout, looking confused, looking angry, looking a bit weird, almost kind of looking at the players, Salah and Robo, as if the people are they are, they are choosing them over me. That was kind of look it seemed to be given, and we're right. FSG took care of business. Slot is gone. Now, of course, every YouTube commentator has said the right thing, in my opinion. They have said we should remain respectful. So, yeah, we're going off direction, and decisions had to be taken in order to get us back on track. But it's not lost on us that Slot achieved something big last season. Winning the league is not something you do every other year. And to have had someone like a Pep Guardiola, and to have had very good managers, manage the league, and he came in his first season and won the league. That's something you can't take for granted, and that's something that he will be remembered for every time. The unfortunate thing is sometimes success can have negative consequences. And what I mean is, when you get successful, sometimes you believe that you are so good that your decisions are unchallengeable. So when at the end of winning last year's Premiership, he said, We're going to do something better this year, and we're going to follow my strategy for playing football, what I think is the best way of playing football. Um, and then he stuck to it through the year, even though it was not working. He was setting himself up to fail, in my opinion. Um, we know that in his first year, and he said it in his interviews, he spoke to Klopp. He said, the team you've given me is brilliant. And between both of them, they decided that I would just make minor changes to it. I would just make minor adjustments. In fact, I'll do as the less I do, the better. And that was what you could see in the first year. He did as little as possible, and we saw how good that team played. And they were already champions in January. And then in January, you started seeing, January last year, you started seeing slots formation and strategy start to take place. And that's when we started losing games. And that's when we started playing in such a way that nobody could understand what the tactic was actually. And we started losing so much so that we went from 20 points clear to about 3 or 4 points clear. But we won the league, so everybody didn't think about it. And then when we came into this year, we seem to have continued that tactic of not having any tactics under the guise of playing possession possession football. And when we were not playing well and we were winning, we thought all was good. And then we started not playing well and losing. Um, Unfortunately, Slot then still believes that his tactics or his strategy was the way forward or bust. And he maintained that until the end of the season, by which time all the fans were absolutely bored and tired. So we've got to a point now where, unfortunately, decisions had to be taken, and I give respect to the FSG executive board in taking that decision. Um, and it also goes to show that all these rumors that you hear on all the channels, all this Twitter and social media, they don't weigh anything. Don't We don't believe them anymore. Unfortunately, we don't have to believe them. We've never really heard truths from them. At the end of the day, the thing that we found out is that FSG do what FSG do in silence. That's the fact, and we're going to take that going forward. We don't need to listen to any Dave Olstein or so and so, with all due respect to them. But at the end of the day, if information comes out from them, it's probably the information that the club wants to leak, so that people just keep quiet. But at the end of the day, the club will do what the club wants to do in silence, and you will find out in the end that this is what the club actually was doing all along. They had fired him, in my opinion, months ago. So getting to just let us know over the last couple of days, it's just them taking the next step as they see fit. So that's something I also glean. But moving forward, people are saying Iriola is rumored to be the next manager. Again, I say I will not make any statement on that. I believe the club will take a decision when they have reviewed all their options and they have come to their final decision. It could be Iriola, it could be anybody else. All I will do is just sit back and see and hear what they have got to say at the end of the day. I think that is the best way forward these days. You know, I mean, starting to, and again, if I should be honest, Iraola plays very interesting football, very very good football, which um, will probably fit Liverpool's um, objective of attacking fast-paced football. But that said, there are other people that do the same thing. So the options will be reviewed and the decision will be taken. So I will just wait and see. Um, and that's all I think I have to say. Uh, I think the one point I just need to make about Iraola and Liverpool managers, and again, maybe this is just me overthinking things, but why is it that Liverpool managers come in, they do well, and after some time they start almost going crazy by way of the decisions they make? And I'm saying right from get go. Look at the likes of Rafa Benitez. There was a time he started making silly decisions before he lost his job. Roy Hodgson, same. Brendan Rodgers came in with an extremely brilliant reputation. Swansea was playing like Barcelona of England, and he came in, he implemented some things. Towards the end, he started making stupid decisions. And let's call a spade a spade. When Klopp, towards the end of Klopp's reign, he also started to make decisions that people started questioning and thinking, why is he playing his player here? Why is he making that decision? Why is he bringing on so and so at so and so time? And the same thing is happening with Slot now, to the point where in the second year he's making decisions that people are saying, what is the point of this decision? So is there something going on that is making them make terrible decisions after a brief stay as manager? That's just a thought. It's not going to lead anywhere, but it's just something that everybody should kind of bear in mind. So the hope is that Tirala doesn't come in with his great reputation, perform well briefly, and then starts making silly decisions. If it's Tirala we're going forward with, or whoever the manager is. I just thought to stop and share that the Sunday morning. Yes, brilliant. PSG has won the Champions League as well, so all my Arsenal fans are keeping very quiet, and we're loving it. Yeah, let them keep quiet for once. Yeah. So outside of that, I've got nothing much to say. We will chat in a bit. Have a good weekend. If you like this video, subscribe, like, dislike, whatever you want to do. Comment if you want to, if you have any. And outside of that, I think we'll move forward proud and happy and saying there is light at the end of the tunnel, and next season potentially might be a good season again. So we potentially might be contenders for the title again, which is how things should be. So I thought to just share that. Thank you everyone for persevering with me, and I will catch up with you again in good time. Take it easy. Bye.